Got ourselves team one together with my boy Austin. I like this mug. I like this look. I like the top hat and everything. Is the monocle part of the top hat? It is, isn't it? It actually looks so good. It actually doesn't look bad at all. Like there's a lens and all that. It has like a texture to it. It has like a light thing to it, except you're moving so I can't really see it easily. Lentania on the team is Outlaw. I like this red set you got going. Mutation in the back. We got Sham. We got ourselves Rice as well. And it looks like Austin first up versus Merlin. The man got himself a full stun. Austin waiting with a blink for a little bit later. Bubble immediately for Merlin. Man's taking a little bit of damage. Austin with an alter time. I think he's going to put himself back out in the open, right? Arcane sphere ready to go as the bubble comes down. Does get himself a reposition. Does get himself a big go though. Touch of the magic. Merlin, unless you got something for this, I think it might be over. Hold on. You just die. Shield of Vengeance. Does get himself a defensive last second. On the team Merlin, we got ourselves Curious in the back over on the Paladin. We got Chaos Bolt on the Affliction Warlock. So honestly, on the Mortical, not a Mortical, Malefic Rapture, I guess it should be called. Austin does it up barraging down Merlin. The guy, I should have probably tracked the duel a little bit better, but he didn't really have much help to really work with. Rosie, what are this weapon? Oh, the Ashimane dagger still looks so good. They actually still look so good. Just a unique weapon they have back in Legion. A dagger in each hand for a Feral Druid. Because you don't really get to fight with weapons, it doesn't really matter what weapon you got. So they were just used for like the Feral Druid appearance. Rosie getting blasted out. Might need a wall here or two. Got himself Barskin. He's barely holding on. It's actually not in a great spot. Touch of the magic. Just absolutely crushing it from above. That is a lot. Try to see if we can go for a quick charge, maybe to interrupt Austin. Doesn't get to into a shadow melt. Orb does catch you out in the open. Nova to follow. Might need a lot more power shift and is going to switch out into travel form. Arcane missiles just chasing it down. Heart of the Wild is active with regrowths available as Austin is looking himself to get a full reset with a shifting power. Got himself one orb, Ring of Fire on the other side, but Rosie able to avoid it, leaping in with a stun. As long as you get on those rake stuns, you're not going to be able to get a full stun into Austin. But at the very least, what you'll be able to do is put a full bleed on him. Does go for the big bite. Austin with Arcane Missiles, touching the magic. Rosie needs to go in bear form with a big heal. Unless touching the magic just ends up collapsing either way. Even through bear form, just ends up rocking you. Not much you can do in that situation though. Chaos Bolt loading up Austin with as many dots as possible, trying to see if you can at least put some pressure ahead of time as he's having to sit back there, just blasted out the Succubus. Ring of Fire to follow. Actually just full on focusing Succubus as much as he can. He's actually gonna have to pull it back as he got himself at least a bit of, he's just focusing on Succubus so hard he just actually just tunneled it the entire time, taking a little bit of that damage, taking a little bit of Succubus damage, just enough to keep tunneling this thing. Does Chaos sacrifice it? Or is he playing with an actual Succubus? I think he might be playing Sacrifice. It is going to be Dark Glaive for a second, Mortical to follow. If you start casting the guy, he's just going to keep blasting you for percentage of your health. You definitely want to take it out as soon as you can. I think he was able to Fire Blast it too, right? That or just send an Arcane Blast there. Chaos with a wall right now, having to walk through the fire, the flames, and the Arcane and everything. Not an amazing position, but the defensive is helping him stabilize here a bit. It's going to be all the dots extended with the Dark Glare. Austin still holding on to an Ice Bucket in case he needs to. Blasting out the pen, catching a quick missile around the corner onto Chaos Bolt and going for a Cannon Sphere. I think it just might be done and done. Just rolling him over with a bowling ball in his hand. Not much you can do there with Solarial. I'm going to call it Solarial because it is Solari. Trinket immediately versus Austin is going to go for a re-poly. I guess he already had a poly cooking immediately. Is going to know him right after. Ring of Fire to follow. Let's go for the Sigil of Fear with a Trinket on the Sigil. Try to go for a hunt, but he does take a little bit of a cast time before he can really use it. Meta to follow. Does leap away. Got himself touching the magic. Solari with a blur just to help reduce some of the damage taken. But he's just getting chipped away at from a distance. Austin got himself max range. And the hunt, I don't know if that does anything. Hold on, I think you just avoided it. Hold on a second. I think you just invised. I think you just invised your hunt. I don't think that even connected. I think the cooldown was put down, but I don't think that even connected. Kira's up next, trying to get himself an angle stun onto Austin. Does blink out of there really quickly. Got himself plenty of damage. Pally, it's got him buffed up recently. 20% damage. Oh, look at the damage go. He's actually doing work. The Wake of Ashes, everything. But he's got himself that distance. For Kira's, distance isn't amazing. He does have plenty of damage from distance. But 40-yard range is a little far. He needs a 30-yard range. So he's either got to figure out he's either approaches Seamark and commits, or backs away until he can get himself a bit of better range. That is the touch of the magic, just burning right through you. Not feeling that great. Void of Rachel around the corner. Does go for immediate blind. He saw that Rachel creeping along the left side of the pillar, but he can't really get himself a good angle. Does go in for the bubble, trying to see if he can maybe get aggressive with Austin. Dampening not super high, so maybe he can somehow get himself a bit of health and recover. Arcane Sphere not going to feel great. Might need a wall for this one. Trying to see if he can juke it. Almost gets to avoid it, but not quite there. Stun onto Austin with a blink immediately. Has himself Wake of Ashes, cannot really reach him from this distance. And that's going to be Austin running at the guy just to switch up on him. That is super unfortunate. Trying to go for maybe a blind. I think it's over, right? Barrage, yeah. That is a rough one. We got to get these guys back in here, man. I think a lot of them want to go for a bit of a payback versus Austin. Got himself Holy Saya over for the team too. First up versus Fassel, got himself immediate trinket as it's going to be Saya trying to see if he can ramp up on him. The faster he can ramp up versus Fassel and then use his immunities together with massive burst damage, the better. He's having to go for wings, having to see if he can go offensive early as it's going to be Saya just trying to avoid the damage but still can't really catch up to Fassel. Easily dropping down hand cooldowns is going to get him interrupted. The pets are surrounding Saya. He's out in the open with no cover. The man might be in a lot of trouble. Fierce to follow. You just got to make sure the Tyrant keeps slamming the damage into him, but also so do all of your other pets, trying to see if he can rotate some defenses out of the bubble. Wait a little, give it a shield of vengeance, blind all the pets, hit him with a second blind with a searing glare, just to make it a little harder for the pets' attacks to connect, and Saya is able to at least stave off a lot of this warlock damage. Fassel needs to get this pets out, keep himself in the safe spot, and Saya having to go for lay on hand super early here just to make sure he can stabilize. Does interrupt Fassel on that Dreadstalker summon, and the man's at no help whatsoever. I think for Fassel it's over unless the Fear with a point, keep the pets on Saya. You got no health whatsoever. There isn't much you can do. Gotta slow it to Saya. Hold on, Hand of Freedom. Trying to see if you can break past the slows. Fassel at no health. Does get hammered to the back of the dome. Nothing the man could have done in that situation, but for Saya, this man is kind of out in the open with Sasha up next. Got himself full set of undeads joining in. IBF and Saya got nothing besides a Spell Warden, but that physical damage from the pets as well as the silence is still gonna go right through ya. Not much you can do in this situation. Trying to see if you can bail. Looking for a juke. Sasha with all the pets summoned up. They're swinging around the corner. Saya's just gonna take that passive damage from the Maguses. Aren't you supposed to have double Maguses? I don't know if Sasha got the tier set or not, but I think you're supposed to have double Maguses there, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Sasha's just looking for that angle. Does get a short stun onto Saya with that main goal. Looks like a majority of the pets did fall apart for Saya. That's less damage for him to deal with. Stun onto Sasha. Breaks out of it immediately. Grippy hand at the ready. I don't know if they got any more defenses available. Might be a death pack. I don't even know if they have it available, but Saya, I think, might just be able to fight through. Sasha with a quick stun onto Saya. Does go in for the big slammer at the end. Saya just trying to see if he can play as defensive as possible. Against the big warlock, let's rotate some defensives, blind all the pets, and control the encounter. Against the Unholy Death Knight, you see the pets, let's avoid him as best as possible, and then try to see if you can double back and circle back. With Miko though, I don't know what you can do here. He does have Spell Warden, so you can at least make himself immune to magic damage. He did use Lay on Hands earlier, so I don't really know if Lay on Hands cooldown is actually 6 minutes. It might actually be way lower than that. I like this mount, man. I should have maybe gotten it. I'm still trying to see if you can save some gold to buy the one that you can get from the one vendor, the black market auction house vendor, for later. But yeah, probably after like Farak Prog is over and I don't really need gold for consumables or anything like that. You know what I mean? Maybe. Got himself full Daza Saya. Kind of melting, not doing all super good health-wise. Miko with a Mortar Call around the corner, does go for the Fear. Saya, one big immunity. It's all going to be down to how you end up using an immunity. Miko got mobility. He's got plenty of defenses to break through. That's going to be a wall for Miko. He's actually tanking this up pretty hard right now. Oblivion, as it's going to be big immunity for Saya. Does Miko have the mobility? Breaks out away for just a moment. I think he has himself the port. Trying to see if he can hold out the port for a little bit later. Trying to maybe see if he can get a Fear onto Saya. Redot him completely. Does shrink it with a quick interrupt. Miko does have a wall. Hold on. Do you have a wall already or do you use wall? I'm not even sure. It looks like you have a wall in cooldowns, but I can't tell. Drain on Saya, nothing he could do. Mans did as good as a play if he could, but there's just so much dot damage, so much rod pressure from Miko. That's extra pets too. Wait, for Miko, this could be huge drain sprees here, because he can dot all the pets, get a lot of procs, build up a big drain buff from agonies, and maybe even soul rod the pets and drain them for huge healing. Oh, he didn't use wall last time. I guess it must have been something else then. But he got a full soul rod onto Ayaz, full set of dots, blasted everything, drain on the hunter, not focusing the pets, but using the pets to fuel his damage. Big drain soul yet again. And the IS, how much you go for defensive with a fortification of the bear just gives him more health, but doesn't really stop the damage that he's taking. Just has more health to leverage and still rotted, still dotted. I think it's just over as Miko barely surviving the full zoo of pets in every direction. Needs himself a little bit of healing, but I don't think the game wants to give him any, dude. Just, you're either the player or you're the game. And I guess Miko is just the that is so unfortunate. That is a dance that the rogue did use, so I wonder if he's gonna hold that dance until Deathmark later, or if he's just gonna send Deathmark at Adam Power right now and just kind of go with it. Does get himself a step, no interrupt though. Actually, I was gonna say maybe he was interrupt on Miko. Does go for the kick here, knockback by the mage though. I love that. You can lock him out of Frost. It's still got fire and Arcane. There's plenty they can do there. Trying to see if he can create smoke bomb just to give himself some cover away from Adam, but he's just getting blasted by flurries and lances. How much to go for a Cloak of Shadows? Looking for a reset. Does get himself a restealth. Adam, I was gonna say maybe random Kono Cold just to get him out in the open. It almost expected it. More flurries, lances. Rogue might be in a bad spot. There isn't much you can do. Maybe blind and run away. He's trying to see if he can load him up full of dots. I don't know if he got a kick. Oh, spike. Oh, it's just over. That is so rough to deal with. That is a rough one. Without being able to catch a clean reset for the rogue, it's difficult to get a Garrote and Adam to really establish full CC chain. And Adam is just getting to chill with the death mark, while Demonas giving these homies as much of an honor duel as possible. I love seeing it. Honestly, Demonas is my favorite character. My favorite protagonist of this 5v5 duel series in the EU. Just for the honor duels, man. Whether they win, whether they lose, they are my favorite just for this alone. Also, if you, one question real quick. Could you just, I just want to check out the mount. I never got to take a look at the mount in detail. It's a fox, so very similar to like the ones in the Legion. But I'm looking at like the armors and the decorations. They actually look good. Really, really good. Gotta be a breath immediately as Demonas got himself an opener onto Adam, but the breath does let you get that pure setup. With a poly, Adam trying to go for full burst. Demonas get a lockdown, big damage. That's just spikes with Ray of Frost. Might be an immunity right here, going for the metamorphosis just to give himself a little bit of immune, as well as activating that leech. Big charge. I think he just has him. Oh, the global on a blade. There's much you can do there at all. That is a rough one. Adam does blast him out. The Frosty Mage, dude. Frosty Mages are incredibly good. Actually, I think they're about as powerful as, what is this charge? Pew just runs in there with a big, I think, spearhead, just rushes Adam with a Death Chakram following. That's going to be a Frost Bomb, maybe potentially Adam trying to see if he can get a better setup. Ring of Frost onto Pew. With a polymorph wall, I think he's just trying to make sure he get the most on CC. Big Glacial together with a Frost Bomb. Can't remove it, or does he? No, Frostbomb still goes off. The animation is gone, but he does still take damage from it. Harpoon onto Adam while he's got himself Big Glacial trying to get interrupted. He's going to be okay for the most part. As long as he doesn't get kicked, he might be all right. He may need to be looking at Ice Bucket early here, though. Nova into that pet. I don't know how much recovery you have. Invis for just a second. Does go for the block. CMPU just kind of disengaging towards Adam. Decided, you know what? I need a reset. I need a reheal. Adam is not in a great spot right now health-wise, but he can maybe stabilize and maybe get some claw back a victory here. As Spew trying to find himself a better position. I don't know if he's running Coordinated Assault and Spearhead, but he may have one more ability he could use in order to close that gap. Breath, as a freeze comes down into Adam, not much he can do. That's going to be CC counter for each other, and that's going to be grenades getting thrown in. There's not much that Adam could really do to deal with this. Does get himself Ring of Frost. Does end up freezing the pet. I was going to say, why is it not freezing that thing at all? He does get himself at least a little bit of refuge behind the pillar, but not much. Going in for flurries, got himself Alter Time to help himself stabilize a little bit. Needs to get himself the full setup onto Pew if at all possible. Maybe a breath if he's got it. That's going to be big Spearhead. There's not much you can do for that thing. That Spear Fury of the Eagle just blasting you out. Does get a Nova. That is a defensive out for Pew though. Adam recovered a little bit of health. Stun. Has a blink for this one. Breath. Maybe this is setup. No trick available for the Hunter. That's going to be a full Polymorph with a Frost Bomb. Another Poly. Oh, he does break out of it. The bomb is going to go off, but there's not much you can really do. That is a rough one. I don't even know what broke his Poly. That was... that was so close. He had to go for it, but there's just not much you can do. I don't even know what broke his Poly. I don't even know. I don't think he broke it himself, did he? He polyed him. The pet started attacking. He polyed him again. The guy broke out. I don't think it was a trinket or anything. I feel like something broke it. Maybe it was a pet? Maybe like a water bolt? I don't even know. As Pew does get himself at least a reset. Anthrax giving him pure opportunity to go for a full reheal. Make this duel as even as humanly possible. As we're hitting that 9-minute mark, 50% dampening at the 10-minute mark. You're not healing. 50% of all healing you do is just worthless, essentially. As he does throw in the grenades, where Anthrax, he's a healing class. Pew is not so much. This is where Anthrax is just gonna have to go super aggressive. Got him some full ascendance, as it's gonna be Spear. The Spear is fighting the elements itself. Lightning bolts from a distance. Anthrax trying to catch up, a little bit of healing. Walls available. He needs a little bit more Maelstrom. Getting those wind strikes from a distance onto Pew does get himself an advantage. That pet is still chewing at you though. That health is not looking good. Trying to see if he can bail out of there using the Warlock for it. I don't even know if that'll be enough though. Earth Elemental got himself a little bit of healing that you told him maybe it would be helpful. Maelstrom with Ghost Rolls is gonna be out for you, and the Ghost Rolls are gonna keep you from being able to heal. One kill shot away, he might just go down on that Pew. Both of them so low. Pew does end up taking it. Oh my goodness, that was so close. Pew actually doesn't bring it back, takes the victory from Adam, and then takes down Anthrax at the very end. A lot of you guys got 2 kills there. Well done. I love it. Pet broke it. Oh, was it Pet? Yeah. Man, it's just that's rough because it was like as good of a setup as you could. Glacial, I was expecting